Good morning. I wanted to show you my makeshift greenhouse. I don't have a lot of room for a greenhouse back here. I didn't know if I was going to be a gardener or not. So what we did was, a friend helped me. I already bought the cattle panels and I used those with the T-posts. I think you've seen probably a lot of videos on that, on how to do a arbor. I'll show you the inside in a minute. I already had that set up for growing grapes in containers. The grape leaves grew great. I didn't get any fruit though. Not the first year. And then we strapped it down because of high winds. What did I keep in here? Citrus. 3 citrus container plants, which got too much heat, I believe. And some of the days can get up to 110 toward the end of the year and here early if I don't get it open in time. And some days I haven't been here to open it. And geraniums. The tomatoes that I have bought and 2 that I kind of cut off and rescued from last year that are growing well. And bougainvillea. I always have a hard time remembering that word. These bougainvillea were frozen and heavily discounted in the store last year, and I brought them back and they came back to life here in Zone 8B. They're really they're a Zone 9, I think, through 11. All right, so I understand that this is how I've been doing it. So just wanted to show you whatever was quick. I'll move the bricks for now. And I got these hooks at Walmart. There have been 2 on the front, and that's all I do in the morning and pretty early. One thing I do is all the way through, you will see a little thermometer. It's a Govee, G-O-V-E-E, and I check the temperature inside the house, usually at the beginning and end of the season when things change. I do have a heater in here. I went ahead and bought a heater. I keep it at 55. The heater itself doesn't have a way to say, oh, 55. But along the wall there, sorry, it's out of focus. That's where the thermostat is. And that took some adjusting to get to the right spot. Many things didn't do well in here over the winter, but some things have done better and some things have survived. I didn't have to give up my beautiful geraniums. I hate to do that. I understand they're just an annual, but I love geraniums. The bougainvillea are in full flower. They don't have a lot of leaves, but they're flowering. These 2 tomatoes and these pickers, I did a video on planting them and it didn't really work out, so I'm going to try these containers this year. What are these, patio pickers or city pickers from Home Depot? About 50 bucks each. Each one of these is a cutting from 2 plants I had last year. One was a Cherokee Purple and one was the Sun Sugar cherry tomato. And I bought a few other little ones and that's it. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. Last year, I will show you a photo of what I did. I planted every pepper seed I had, every tomato seed I could find. Well, not that I could find, and I tried to grow them all, and it was an absolute nightmare. I got very few tomatoes last year. Well, I do have 2 pepper plants in there as well, red and yellow. All right, let me just put this down real quick so I can tie these back. I just tie them back to the frame here, get them out of the way for the day. It is getting time for me to move these things out, but we're still getting 40-degree nights, if not a little bit below. I think that's too cool for the geraniums, maybe the citrus. They're not doing well in here though. The citrus need to bust out. We'll see what happens. I may not even keep them. I don't think they did well in containers this year. All right, let me put the phone down for a sec. All right, as you see, this is a kind of a permanent clip to keep it from blowing in the wind. I've tied this side back here, this side back here. This did remarkably well during our wind. We get gusts of up to 70 miles an hour here. Those are geraniums I just bought and decided to put them in here when the nights turn chilly again. This did get frozen. This is a hibiscus, but I think it's gonna come back. So this is the poor man's greenhouse. These are the cattle panels. You can get them at the hardware stores. Plenty of videos about how to put them up. There's 2 of them in here. These are the posts. They were very, very hard to get into the ground. We just don't have really diggable land or ground around here. So I had 2 pots of grapes on the outside, and they grew, forget the plastic wasn't here, right, for the summer. And they grew up over, and they were great. They got a lot of bugs, unfortunately. A lot of bugs on the leaves. Then it started getting cold. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't going to drag these big pots in and out of the house, and I don't want bugs in my house. I believe I see a pollinator up there. Happy days. Or a wasp. I don't know. Anyway, so we put the plastic over and it worked out. I don't feel like I want to do this again next year. I'd love to have a little mini greenhouse. As I mentioned in my intro video, I have a lot of hardscaping though, and I don't really have a lot of room for a greenhouse. I'm not at all sure I'm going to keep the citrus. They were really the primary reason. I tried to secure this for the winter. I've got a lot of stuff in here, so I'm making it hard to get around. This guy, I know he's flowering, but he's losing his leaves. I've given him whatever he needs, but I just think maybe it's too warm in here for him. I did feed him, so he's got new growth. I did have grasshoppers in here over the winter. I kept opening it, and I'd find a grasshopper and a grasshopper and a grasshopper, and we've had an infestation. Oopsies, oh, so sad. I honestly do not know how to prune citrus, so I'm not really sure what to do. I almost feel like I want to give up. Oh my goodness, but they smell delightful. Oh my gosh. Almost worth it. This one got hit really hard by some kind of bug. There were eggs all over it. I have disturbed the soil on everything to keep grasshopper eggs at bay. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm not sure it's been effective. This is the little survivor of this. Oh, and I don't know what's what. One's a lemon. One's a mandarin orange, one's a navel orange. I can't, in all conscience, cut this back now because it's in bloom. We're still getting a little bit low. We are at past our frost date, just barely. And the bougainvillea, I don't know about them either. They don't have a lot of leaves, but they sure do have a lot of blooms. The tomatoes are happy as could be. Those are happy. Let me get out of here. Sorry, that's my heater, and it worked really, really well. Bio Green Palma. This is the thermostat that went with it. It's reading 58. I normally set it 55. It's not like I can set this. I just had to kind of work it until I got that at 55. And once I know it's going to be around 55 outside, maybe even a little bit less, I come out and open the greenhouse if I'm going to be here. If I'm not, that's where I'm getting into a little bit of trouble. It'll actually be a good thing when I get this thing taken down, I guess. I'm not really sure I'm going to do this next year. Although, right in front of me is about the only place I could put a greenhouse. Like even a small one, if I could afford it. Right in here, I could do not too wide. As you see, I don't have much room out here. And what I have is often in shade because of this big old pergola, and I'm not going to take this down right now. This big old shed. I mean, this is a massive shed. This is not your typical garden shed. Again, I didn't put that in there. So it'd be about right here, wouldn't it? So I really want a door. I don't need it in the summer anyway, not here. I've got all summer to think about it. So we will see. There's a bed that, a raised bed that a friend made for me. We put it on wheels. I'm trying to get in and make a second, but he is plain out of time. I'm noticing some issues with my radishes and these bugs, which I believe are, I'm gonna look it up again. I did do a insecticidal soap spray, but it's hard to want to eat something that's been so harassed by bugs. Leafhoppers. Are they leafhoppers? That little gnat-looking affair. Yeah, I need more spray. I don't really know what they are or why. I had radishes last year. You see this one? It's completely curled, the new growth. I guess it could be aphids too, but let me see if I can see any. No, it's these black bugs flying around. I'm gonna have to figure out how to cover those. I grew aphids in my raised bed over there. And they did fine. They were yummy in my tummy. New bugs. It's probably my biggest discouragement right now. Let's sort this out right here. This is my homemade trellis on the cheap. Get back in there. Come on, guy. Cling, cling, cling. And this one can cling. And I'm gonna have to run a string across. Sorry, I'm out of focus. I'm gonna have to run a string across, I think, to capture this guy. Yeah, I'll do that. Easy. Cute, huh? And this one is a little strange, the way it's just producing on this one. But these, got green on this arm. Probably gonna, it's just doing different things at different seasons. We'll see. Cherries didn't. Their little twiggy guys are coming into their own. Not a huge canopy. And this was a stick. Yeah, he's trying to be a real tree. My cute spring planters. This is my first time growing daffodils. Do you love them? Me too. I have an affinity for ground cover of any kind. Is this not adorable? These are potatoes. I have actually marked them. My first time growing potatoes. And definitely in grow bags. So there's a few per. I didn't overload them. Big crepe myrtle is starting to leaf out. What is behind that? I saw that in another video. It already did leaf out. Well, this is interesting. Good. This is one of those lavender crepe myrtles. I can't remember the exact name. These are daylilies that I divided from container daylilies. And I've decided to devote this raised bed. This existed and that existed. And I added this one with extra bricks that they had around the property. This is a house in the burbs. I did veggies the first year, tomatoes and peppers went really well. Last year was odd. They didn't do as well. There's always infestations of whiteflies. And then last year, we put this up because I just love these trellises. I don't care. I want trellises everywhere. And I grew very successfully a sugar baby watermelon here. And when that passed, as they do, I grew a sun sugar. Well, in front of it was a sun sugar cherry tomato. And basically, it grew up all the way over to there. And on this side, I had Easy Sow seeds. You can get them in Lowe's or Home Depot. It was the heirloom melon mix. And I got a couple of cantaloupes. Well, I got a lot, actually, but it was the honeydew melon that was in there. Anyway, I saved some of those seeds. So I'm going to plant both of those this year. I took a cutting from the sun sugar. Things don't do well until they get up to a certain level because I've got shade back there. Oh, and I did sunflowers in that corner, and I'm going to do those again. Anyway, this is going to be mostly a flower bed this year. Let's see how that goes for me. The daylilies were growing way too big for their containers, and I wanted them to do well. I love these trellises. I put them everywhere. This is a 16-foot, this one. This guy are 2 8-foot panels. I saw this on the internet and did it. 2 8-foot panels. And then we joined them there with wire. I do have a friend that tries to pound these sticks in for me as best he can. I don't think I could do it at my age. Well, I mean, I guess, I don't even know if I'd try. I love ground cover. I love sedum too. This is a thyme, and it will flower. Put out pretty little purple flowers when it gets ready. A lot of these things were annuals that appear to be coming back. How nice. Those 4 containers, supposed to be carrots. Yeah, hoping for the best. That dirt level really dropped. Flowers that I planted. Flowers that need planting. Gotta have marigolds to try to keep the bugs at bay. I don't know what chores are for today. You know, always chores. Sometimes I can't make decisions on where I want to plant things. I mean, where the container should go, right? Because I don't really have a lot of options for planting. Finished putting down this mulch on the rest of this gravel. I hate the gravel. It's ugly. And I have actually no way of getting gravel back here. I do have a side gate, but it's pretty well blocked. Look at that. Those are my honeysuckles. They did well last year. They did well the first year. That's a really fast growth over the past few days. This must grow 4 to 6 inches a day. Goodness gracious. It's already got blossoms. I think I want that crepe myrtle, the one under the arch. It's the lavender one. This one's red and white. And that one has black leaves. That one in a container has black leaves. I ordered online, my first ever order online. It was great. Anyway, that one, I think he needs a bigger container. And those crossover vines, these tangerine cross vines. This is their winter look here anyway. I'm going to put them in the bigger pots. Unfortunately, I have to go get dirt. I always have to go get dirt. What is that about? That is my bucket pond over there that you see. I decided to create 2 little ponds. And so I just got the little flowers and put in the little pond fixture. It's a pond on the cheap. Needs cleaning. Really looking bad. These are my grapes from last year that grew over that other arbor, and I think maybe they're unhappy with their current location. We'll find out. They are budding on old wood though, aren't they? Interesting. I don't know that much about them. This one's leafing out. I didn't get grapes from him last year. Last year was his first year. This is his bro. I think I see some baby stuff. These are my new hydrangeas that I am growing. They're struggling, but they're not dead. They probably need more sun, but at the size of these buckets, I don't want to keep moving things back and forth into the sun and out of the sun. I don't really want to. This is my passion flower, is it blue cerulean? I cut him back severely, and let's see what happens with him. And this is an Ernest Markham. He is in there, right there. We'll see how he does. Blueberries are looking bad. They looked great, then they looked bad. I didn't actually prune them back. And this might be just old growth. Yep, we'll see. That's an annual. Never give up on those things. I think it's a petunia. Isn't that weird? This is a hibiscus. I learned last year not to give up on them. I gave up on 2 that were absolutely beautiful. Aww. So precious. So glad. This is the crepe myrtle that I ordered. It's got black leaves and red flowers. That's it for today, folks. I'll see you in the next video. Got a lot of projects to do. I ought to get doing them. Bye.